YouTubers. This is Wallingtonfilming, painting and decorating, trade secrets. And today I'm in a new property with the ceilings already emulsioned, and what I've got to do now is cutting the walls to the ceiling. So I've got to cut in the ceiling line with magnolia, okay? So what I'm going to do is just show you how that's done, and what you will need to do is just concentrate on the actual brush action that I'll be using for cutting in, okay? So what I've got to do these walls and cutting in with, I've got some Dulux Fast Matte trade magnolia emulsion, and I'm using a Hamilton Perfection brush here. Bear in mind you won't be able to use a brand new brush for this particular exercise. You're going to need one that's been used for quite a while, for like i.e. cutting in the bottom, so it wears down and you get a bit of a shape similar to that, which allows you to cut in the ceiling lines and get a straight line, okay? With this particular emulsion, I've not watered this down. This is straight out the tub, and it's quite a good consistency, so it'll cover in one coat for cutting in. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to cut in the ceiling lines on the walls with a magnolia. Right? Also, you'll need some form of safe workbench or hop up, what we use for standing on. Okay, you've got to make sure that's a safe piece of equipment, especially if you're working on site. Okay, right then. Basically, I'm going to emulsion at one side, stand on here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go as far as I can reach on this particular wall here, and then follow it down the rest of the room. So I'll just load my brush up with enough paint just to go as far as I can. Okay. Bear in mind, this is not as easy as it looks. It does take a bit of practice to get a really good straight line, and also you will need a pretty good brush that's worn down on the edges to do this. If you watch any of my other videos, there's a video there for how to shape a brush, and that should give you a good start for cutting in if you shape your brush. Okay. You can probably see I've already done the bottom section of these walls. If you just pay attention to how I'm using the brush, what actions I'm using on the brush to cut in. Okay. If you find it a bit difficult to cut in with neat emulsion, just thin it out slightly, which will allow you to get a straight edge a bit easier, but you might find you've got to do it twice if you start thinning the emulsion out. Okay. And when you're actually cutting in, standing on one of these op-ups to reach the ceiling line, just don't get carried away and forget you're standing on something, because you're going to fall off the end of it and break your leg. Okay, as you can see, I load my brush up, start in front of myself, and just drag it down the ceiling line like that, as far as the paint will allow me to go. So yeah, basically I've finished there. I'm going to start about here, because I know a brush full of paint is just going to take me about a foot long. Okay, so I've started, and as I say, I've started, so I'll finish. Okay, and now I'll just do a nice thick line there, so when I roll the walls, I'm not going to hit the ceiling with the roller. Right? And you can go back and forth like that. Now, I don't know whether you're ambidextrous, which I do believe means you can use both hands. So I'm still in the same position, but I'm using my left hand now to cut in. Not everybody can do that with the opposite hand. Okay, so really now I've gone as far as I can go. So I'm going to move down a bit. Okay, and I'll set my hot on the workbench so I can reach the existing line. Okay. I might make this look easy, and probably a lot of you are saying, you know, how do you get it so you can do it so fast? That just comes with time and experience, and having the right brush for it as well. Because if you haven't got the right brush, you just can't get that straight line. Although some of my colleagues will admit I can't get a straight line anyway. No good, no matter how good the brush is. Okay. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of a mess about with it, but you just keep your eyes on how I'm using that brush, what method I'm using. And like, as soon as you finish cutting in, just come down the wall just a little bit, so when you roll it, okay. Like I say, go about a foot in front of yourself, a good brush full of paint, and just drag it along that ceiling line, and you should get a pretty reasonable straight edge. And this is just part of the process before I start rolling the walls. I've already scraped the walls down, checked the snots off the plaster, I've cut in the bottoms, and now I've got to cut the tops in. My next project will be rolling the walls. Okay. So this video is basically just to show you what brush method you'll be using, how you'll use your brush to cut in the ceiling lines. And like I say, don't forget that you're standing on something, and if you're not careful you'll end up walking off the edge. So you need to be careful of that, because I have known people to actually walk off the edge of the workbench and break their ankles, so just be careful. I mean, to save having to cut ceiling lines in, the easiest way to get around that is just do the walls the same colour as the ceilings, and you've not got to cut in. Okay. And make sure you put a good coat of paint on as well. Don't be scared, and don't scrape the paint on. You want a nice decent coat, because you don't want to be doing it more than once if you can help it. So put a decent coverage of paint on. Okay. Don't scrape it on, and get yourself a good quality brush. And make sure you wash it out and clean it after use, so you've got it so you've got it all the time. Right then. So basically that's how you put ceiling lines in, ready for emulsioning the wall. Okay. Get yourself a good brush. This is Wallington Perfection. You can normally pick these up for about £15. Okay. And you want to get it shaped, take the edges off so you can cut in properly. If it's a new brush, you're not going to be able to cut it in like that whatsoever. So anyway, I'm about ready for a cup of tea now. Wallingtonfilming, painting and decorating, trade secrets. Thanks to all my subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe yourself. and don't forget to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. I'd just like to say one final thank you to my cameraman, Gary Wheeler, much appreciated. And I'll see you next time. See you later.